Hey guys, it is Mr. Bossman914 here. How is it going? Today we are playing some ranked Town of Salem, which means we are going to be going over some more roles. Let's go. So, basically, yeah, it's just gonna be fun. We're gonna see what role we can get. Of course, we have to go over the rest of the Mafia roles, and most of the neutral roles. We'll probably actually go over all of the neutral roles in this video, even though all the neutral roles aren't in this. Like Amnesiac isn't in this, Survivor isn't in this. I don't know what else there is on there, but I'm pretty sure those are the only other two. But yeah, with all that said, let's just hop right into it. So be that vigilante. So of course I'm just gonna write that down in my will. And of course, in one we don't get a gun, so can't do anything about that. Starting off on the Mafia list, we have Blackmailer. So what Blackmailer does is they get to choose somebody every night to blackmail. And whenever people are blackmailed, they don't get to talk during the day, except for if they are put on trial. And then, the only thing they can say is, I am blackmailed. A good way to tell if somebody is blackmailed or not is if they start spamming the chat with, random votes for town. So on and off, so if I was blackmailed, I would obviously just on and off be spamming Krampus upvoting, and people would know that I am blackmailing, or that I was blackmailed. Okay, next up we have Consigliere, and what Consigliere does is basically whenever you look at somebody, because you have a night ability, whenever you look at somebody during the night, what happens is that you get to see that person's exact role. So it's kind of like the investigator, which just died, R.I.P. Except you get to see their exact role. So if they looked at me, they see a vigilante, they know that they don't want to mess with me, they want to hang me. Next up we have Consort. And what Consort does is it's kind of the escort of the Mafia. They basically do the same thing. They choose to distract somebody every night. Yeah, that's really it. And then, of course, next up we have Disguiser. And what Disguisers does is actually a really good role if you like being kind of solo. You get to choose somebody to disguise as every single night. And basically what happens is whenever you do that is, say if you disguise as me, if the investigator looked at you, you would be the investigator. Or you would pop up as a vigilante, or roles related to the vigilante, because I don't know how to properly speak right now. And the sheriff would put you as innocent, and if you died the next morning, you would show up as vigilante. Just that easy. Next up we have Forger, and basically what Forger gets to do is they get to choose somebody, and they get to claim, or not, oh my gosh, I can't speak right now. Basically what happens is whenever the Forger chooses somebody, they get to change their will. They get to change the person's will that they selected. And it's pretty good. Let's just leave it at that. So next up we have Janitor, because I already went over all the other, I already went over all the other things. Oh my gosh. Okay, so back to what I was saying. Janitor, basically what they get to do is they get to hide people's roles. So basically, say the Mafia went and they killed me, then the Janitor would use their ability on me, and nobody would get to know what I was. Janitor is very useful in the team effort of Mafia. So after that, we go into Neutral Evil. We've already been over Executioner and Jester. Now we go into Witch. Basically what Witch gets to do is they get to choose somebody every night, and they get to choose somebody else, kind of like the Transporter. But the Witch makes the first person they chose use their ability on the second person they chose. So if the Witch controlled me, and if the first person the Witch picked was me, and the second person was Stepsis, then I would shoot I would shoot Stepsis, and I would have no control over it. Okay, so next we have Arsonist. basically what arsonist gets to do is you get to choose somebody every night to douse. And after you douse one person at least, then you can choose to ignite them. And a lot of people actually choose to douse like 2 or 3 people at a time and then ignite them, because it does a lot more damage to town then. And last but not least, we have werewolf. And werewolf, basically what they get to do, they get to go out to people's houses on full moons, and anybody who visits them and the person there all die, except for the werewolf, unless there's like a bodyguard there or something. And it's just a really good role if you're trying to fight for yourself, because if the vigilante, so say I was a werewolf, my target was Krampus, so vigilante visits Krampus, investigator visits Krampus, sheriff visits Krampus, doctor visits Krampus, all 5 of them are dead. And that it just do be like that. Or you can choose to stay in your own house and be in your own house. The other 2 roles that I was talking about earlier, the amnesiac and the survivor. Basically, survivor, you have 3 bulletproof vests, and you can use them to make sure you don't die every night. And basically, they win with anybody. It doesn't matter; they just win, as long as they survive till the end. And so on to the next one, we have amnesiac, and basically, they don't get to remember what their role is. Because they don't exactly have a role, but they can choose to click on somebody's little thing over here, one of these things, and they will become that person's role. So if I clicked on John Proctor, or if John Proctor was an amnesiac, and they clicked on my legit the plug thing, they would now become vigilante, and I would still be vigilante. It's a really complicated system, but it's very good. What's up? Okay, so Stepsis died. I'm gonna say that I was jailed at night 2, because I was. I mean, I'm pretty sure I said I was jailed night 2. But that's not really the topic of today. Basically, that's all the roles of Town of Salem, not including Coven, because I don't really play Coven. I mainly play common stuff. But yeah, I mean, I hope you all have enjoyed. Make sure to hit the like button and the subscribe button. And yeah, let's see if we can reach, I don't know, like 3 likes on this video maybe. But yeah, this is all for now, and this is Mr. Bossman, and I'm signing out. Make sure you stay hydrated.